Alright. I have rinsed the sand fleas several times and gonna let them basically clean, I guess it's called purging them, letting them sit in the water so that, they can clean out their nastiness and stuff. It looks like I got a bunch of females with eggs. Those look like they might be eggs. The ones with the orange. And what I'm going to do to help them die, I guess. I feel bad. Isn't that sad that I feel bad about killing these sand fleas? But at least I'm going to eat them. So they're not dying for nothing. And same with the little fish there. The two little fish. I had more that I was letting go. And then I was like, I'm catching a lot of these little fish. So I might as well go ahead and eat them. Part of it is out of curiosity as to what they would taste like, but the other part is basically I'm trying to get better with survival type skills, being able to just eat off the land or out of the ocean. So you're gonna see me doing a lot more of this kind of stuff, maybe if I don't get sick. So what I got some ice water here, ice that I'd gotten from one of the gas stations, and I'm gonna pour it in here to help them, to chill the water. I'll pour out some of this water, and I'm gonna let them kind of die, I guess, slowly, or just freeze to death. So we're just gonna pour out a lot of this water and put ice in there and let them sit in the ice until they're dead, and then I'm gonna cook them up. At least that's my plan. So I'm gonna get rid of this water, a lot of this water. I think that should be enough water left. And then the idea is to just put ice in here now and let them sit. So I put ice in there. I think, to me, this is probably the most humane way I can think of to kill them. Half of them were dead already. Within, I think they've been sitting in this bucket for about an hour. So you can see they're not moving. Well, some are moving. So I'm gonna let them sit like that and get some more ice somewhere. Then see if I can't clean them and begin the cooking process. Stay tuned. Hello, YouTube! Welcome to one of my most ambitious cooking episodes to date. Earlier today, you saw me catch some, these things are called sand fleas or mole crabs. I had put them into this bucket here with water, fresh water, and ice to put them on ice so they would die. Hopefully not in too much agony. I also have some little baby fish that were caught as well that I'm going to be eating. Yeah. Ooh, that water's cold. And it is kind of cold out here right now at the beach. I'm actually at a different beach. I decided to choose this one because I knew it had nice picnic tables. It's even got an electrical outlet if I wanted to cook using the rice cooker. But I'm going to go ahead and use the portable butane cooking system, which a lot of people thought I didn't have. I do have one of these, but I don't really use it that much. I prefer to use electricity as it's cleaner, and I can cook in the van with it. This I can't really cook in the van unless I'm parked somewhere and I have my rear kitchenette set up. It's not very stealth, so typically I won't be using this unless like I'm at a park like this where there may not be an electrical outlet. But in this case, I'm using it just to demonstrate the butane stove here. You can see I set up a little wind guard here with the case itself because it is really windy out here. And I have a pot that I just bought the other day, pot and lid from Goodwill, but I'm going to be using it as a frying pan / pot. The plan is to cook up the sand fleas several different ways. So these are the sand fleas, all dead now, and I do plan on deshelling them, removing their shell and maybe their guts if I can find any guts to remove. But I'm going to do that because there's been like mixed reviews on how they taste, and some of the people who don't like it said, you know, that it didn't taste good. They just kind of threw it into a pan and fried it up. I think you need to treat it like you would any other meat, and season it and flavor it and stuff. But also, I can feel the shell here. It is kind of hard. I wouldn't want to bite into that and bite into the shell. So I'm going to de-shell these guys. Then I'll be cooking them up. Now, I do want to taste the sand fleas themselves, kind of. So what I'm planning on doing is taking some of these and cooking them with coating, you know, like breadcrumbs and fish fry stuff. Basically things that are used for, actually in this case, I think I'm going to skip the fish fry. I'll save that for fish, because I'm planning on trying to catch some fish to cook up later. But today we're going to use, so we're not going to need this. I'm going to use the flour and the panko plain Japanese style bread coating. And basically I'm just going to fry up some of those guys as if they were like popcorn shrimp or popcorn, in this case it would be popcorn sand fleas? Is it called sand fleas? Mole crabs? Sand fleas? Well, popcorn covered, or popcorn sand fleas, I guess they would be. So I'm going to make a couple of those just to see what they taste like. For those of you who don't like to eat it with rice, I guess you could fry them up and with batter, or just fry them up if you just want them fried, and you know, eat it like with French fries or something. And I'm also going to be cooking up some Thai fried rice, Thai fried sand flea Thai fried rice. I guess that's what I'm going to try to make. I have some frozen vegetables stir fry that I bought from Dollar Tree for $1. I do have some rice that I already pre-cooked. That was cooked inside Little Blue 2 using the inverter cooking system off the electric rice cooker. So without further ado, I guess the first step is to prep all these crabs, and that means de-shelling them, which I'll be doing right now. De-shelling the crabs, since they're so small, it's kind of hard, but I pulled off the top shell itself right here. Camera's having a hard time focusing here, sorry about that. Alright. I did de-shell this one by removing the shell itself. It is hard. It's like the shell you would find on a crab or something, because this is a type of crab. And this is what it looks like underneath. Not much meat there. But this part is hard too. And it looks like this part is all hard, and his front part is hard. So what I'm thinking is I'm probably just going to use a knife or something and just cut off parts of it, because otherwise I'll be sitting here all day trying to de-shell it. And I get the feeling that when I finish there isn't really going to be too much meat, because these are so small. Let me try to finish this one up and show you what it looks like. Alright, in my attempt to de-shell him, that crab right there, or her, because this one looks like it has eggs, or that might be fat. I don't know if it's fat or eggs. Probably eggs if it's like crab, it's like orangish stuff. I cut off the top portion where the legs and stuff were and removed all the legs. And this is all that's really left, is this tiny little piece. It is so small. It's like as small as, you know, for my finger here for comparison. So I'm going to try some more and de-shell them and see what happens, because this doesn't look like much meat at all. The ones I saw on YouTube that people were catching and eating, they were like about 1 inch to 2 inches, 1.5 inches. These guys are more like 1 inch or smaller. So there's probably not much meat in there at all. But we'll go ahead and try to de-shell some more and see what happens. Alright, after de-shelling them, let me get the camera to focus here. There's like not much left after trying to de-shell them. Look at all I get, it's just the eggs. But this one here is soft-shelled. So there might actually be more edible parts on this one. I'm just going to try to cut off the head area here. I think this front part is the head. And then maybe the butt area. I don't even know what's the head. I think this is the head and this is the tail. I'm just going to cut off this part, but I'm going to leave this whole shell together because it's soft. So we'll try it like that. I think the soft one's going to give us more to eat than the hard ones, because when I debone them and stuff and try to remove the shell, you can see there's like not much left at all. I'm like throwing away like 60% or 70% of the animal. Alright, after spending quite a bit of time de-shelling them all and removing the legs. This is all the meat that I ended up with. That's like not much. And look how much I'm throwing away. Like twice as much of the parts, the shells and the front part. I just tried to get the meat. I cut off the legs. I can see now why people might not be eating these. There's just not much meat there. This was everything that I caught other than the fish, which I'm going to go ahead and prepare and throw it in since there's so little meat. I was going to make some popcorn fried sand fleas, but I don't think there's enough to go around. So what I'm going to do is just skip that because I'm getting a little hungry. So I'll save that for another day, maybe if I can catch some bigger ones, because these are just too small. I think too small to, eat as popcorn. I guess popcorn sand fleas. So what we're going to do is just fry those up and throw the fish in there too, and eat them as sand flea fried rice with a little bit of fish on the side. Alright, I have tried to fillet the fish as well. What little there was to fillet. And I think we're just going to stir fry these guys up and then go ahead and cook our fried rice because it is starting to get dark. And I'm going to dump all this other stuff into the garbage there. So hopefully this will turn out to be a halfway decent meal because this was a lot of time to try to prep this meal right here. Wow. Things never go smoothly. I was in process of trying to start up this butane stove, and I flipped the handle, and sure enough, the handle for the lever broke. When you pull the lever down, it pushes this portion out, or it pulls this portion in rather, and then the canister pushes up against here, releasing the gas through here, and then you can light it up. It lights up, and you can start cooking. The problem is this broke right here, and you would need another piece of metal, replacement part, because it broke on the inside, unless I can figure out how to weld or put something together there. But meanwhile, I need to figure out what I need to do to cook this. I may end up having to cook it in the rice cooker, removing the rice from there and then cooking with the rice cooker, because I think I have electricity here, as long as I didn't turn it off. So that may be a possibility, because this butane cooker isn't going to work. What to do? Alright, just for this cooking episode, I went ahead and manually pushed it down using a spoon there to get it to lock. So it's going to be hard to turn off, but we're going to go ahead and set this here and start the cooking process. And I guess I'll figure out how to shut it off when I'm done cooking. But I've manually started the unit up, and we'll go ahead and put the frying pan on here, or the pot in this case. I'm going to toss in some oil, and get it heated up so we can start cooking. I've set up the cover here as a wind guard, and we'll go ahead and add the oil right now. While the oil is heating up, I am going to go ahead and start seasoning the crab and the fish. You can see we've got it right here. I'm just going to pour some of this onion on it, and then some of this badia, my all-purpose badia. And now we're going to go ahead and put it into the frying pan, or the pot, and just let it cook up. Let me get a stir here so I can stir the thing. As you can see, the meat is cooking up. We got fish. This is like a Thai seafood meal here. Seafood fried rice. Fish is a little something extra. Block the wind here. It is very windy out here. Let everything cook up and see what happens. Well, if nothing else, it smells good. Now, originally I was going to use the eggs here as a coating for the breadcrumbs and stuff. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and just toss it in here and have, you know, scrambled eggs with the crab meat. Well, the sand flea meat. Sand fleas are really crabs. They're basically crabs. They're just tiny little crabs. And I think people aren't eating them, not because they don't taste good, but because they're just so small. You need hundreds of them. I can smell it. It smells pretty good. So what we're going to do at this point is make sure it's thoroughly cooked. And you can see it's turning, that's the soft-shelled one right there. It's turning kind of reddish orange, like you would see normally with crab or you know, or shrimp. Seems like a lot of seafood when you cook it, it turns kind of reddish orange. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, while that is cooking, I am going to go ahead and scramble up my eggs so I can toss that in there and let that cook too. Alright, I removed the pan here off the stove because I don't want it overcooked. You can see the meat's pretty much done. But I do need to beat up the eggs, so I'm going to add some of my minced onion. And some more of the badia. And we're just going to mix this all up. Give ourselves a scrambled egg. This might hide some of the flavor of the crab and the fish. This is the weirdest fried rice I've ever made. So I think that's good enough. We'll take our pan here, put it back over the fire, and let's pour in our egg. And what we're going to do is just kind of let it cook up. Alright. Fire's still burning. It's cooking the egg. This is certainly very weird. I've never had anything like this before. We'll let the egg cook up. It's looking like the fire's not that hot for some reason. Oh, I had the flames on low. So let me turn on high. I got the flames on high now, so it is cooking up. You can see it is cooking. This is another reason for not using a butane system. Stuff like this happens where it breaks. Now luckily for me, this canister's almost out, so I may just let it burn out. I did bring a second canister just in case, you know, but we're not going to bother with it now because this has got to be repaired or tossed. I had bought this unit from Goodwill for a couple bucks. I think I paid like $5 for it. They're about $19 at Walmart brand new. Alright, so this is the egg, which is pretty much done. I am going to go ahead and stir it up. It's done on the underside, but not this side. So we're going to go ahead and stir it up and try to get it to cook up completely here. There we go. Eggs in there. This certainly looks very different than everything else I've ever made. Okay, so we got eggs, we got sand fleas, and now it's going to be time to add the stir-fried blend. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this open and put some in. Okay, here then is the stir-fry being added. Crap, it's got liquid. I don't want liquid. Got water going in there. I don't want the water. So we're just going to add some of these vegetables here. Let me drain the water first. Alright, I drained the water from here, so I'm going to add the stir-fry vegetables. Make sure the fire is still burning here. Mix that all up. Feels like it's not that hot. I don't know what's going on, maybe because the wind's blowing it everywhere. I am going to go ahead and add my rice and add the rice is already cooked, so we're just going to add the rice and some soy sauce and stir it up and then put the lid on it and let it kind of bake and cook. As you can see, I have added the rice. And we're just going to take some soy sauce and pour it on top. It is cold out here, believe it or not, even though I'm in Florida. Probably in the 60s, maybe 50s right now. So I know for those of you up north, this is probably like hot, warm weather, but for Florida people, this is cold. Alright, we're going to go ahead and mix this up. Once you get the soy sauce coated on all the rice, it starts to look, better. It's a prettier look. The rice is kind of brownish. I'll tell you what, it smells good. Smells good, looks good. Question is, will it taste good? See some of the meat there. I hope the wind's not like making all sorts of noise. It is very windy out here today. Alright, looking really good. Smelling great. I think that's some of the meat right there. An egg mixed together. Well, based on this experiment with the cooking, even though I haven't tasted it yet, I don't know if the sand fleas are really worth harvesting unless you can catch like hundreds of them. But, deboning, not deboning, but deshelling them took a long time. Out of the whole batch that I caught, there was only 1 or 2 soft-shelled and the rest were all hard-shelled. I think the soft-shelled ones are basically the same ones, but they just molted and their shell's not hard yet. The rest of them had very hard shells, like you would find on a crab. So I don't know if this is something I would be doing more of, as far as trying to catch more sand fleas and cook them up, just because it was so much work, and honestly, I didn't see that much meat there. Now, I do like crabs and I like shrimp. I mean, it's not like my favorite meat, but I do eat it when I go to the Chinese restaurant, because I normally don't buy this stuff. Okay, I think the food is pretty much done. So what we're going to do is set aside a serving, show you what it looks like, and have our little taste test. Alright, here goes. Here then is what the finished dish looks like. If you can see, that looks like one of the crab, the soft-shelled one right there, so I'm going to try to take that as part of the taste. I am going to add my normal seasoning of crushed peppers. Put a generous amount of peppers on here. I do like things somewhat spicy. Doesn't that look good? And we're going to toss in some lemon juice. And here we have Denoy's first ever, maybe even the world's first ever, sand flea fried rice. Let's take the sand flea right here. Gonna have a taste of it. I think I'm not gonna put the vegetable there because I want to try to taste the sand flea itself. So we'll just have the rice with the sand flea and see what it tastes like. Honestly, I couldn't really taste it. After all that, I probably should have tasted it by itself, but it does have kind of a seafoodish smell and taste to it, but it could be the fish, because I had fish in there too. Wow, it's so cold out here. This rice is already cold, even though I just took it off the stove just a minute ago. Let's try it again. I'd say it tastes okay. I think my mistake was I didn't let the frozen vegetables cook in there long enough. They were still cold, and they made the rice cold. Maybe that's what happened. I would reheat everything here up, but I can't do that. I mean, I could, but hooking it all up with that broken handle is not really a quick thing to do. So what I may do is empty out my regular white rice, put this into the rice cooker, or what remains of it, and heat it up to eat later. But I don't think it's that bad. I think it tastes pretty much like my normal fried rice. Yeah, pretty much just like my normal Thai fried rice. Maybe kind of seafoodish. So I guess the sand flea, or I'd rather refer to them as mole crabs. Saying that you're eating sand fleas doesn't sound as good as you're eating crabs. I definitely taste the sand flea right now, because even though I tried to debone them or remove their shell, I can taste parts of the leg right now. It's kind of crunchy. Would I do this again? Unless I'm totally broke and starving and need some protein, more than likely not. The sand fleas were way too small. It's not that you can't taste them, or that they don't taste good. It's just they're so small, and the time it took to prep them, I think, was too much for what little meat you got. So, take one more bite here. I'm going to reheat everything up in my rice cooker inside the van. Then I'll continue having this meal later, because it's getting dark out here. I know you can't see that it is getting dark at the beach right here, but it is getting dark. And I need to clean up this big mess. So, there you have it. Sand flea fried rice, Thai style. You know it's Thai style. So until next time, everyone, bon appetit, take care, God bless you all.